Hello and welcome to episode 80 of the Dragons Are Real podcast. My name is Pete Jones. So today we're going to talk some more Zinequest. The episode I did last was well received and there's a ton of zines coming out. So far I've backed 3 and I've got 8 I'm following, and that was just from yesterday. So I've got a lot more zines to look at today. But before we do that, I've got a call in.
Hey there, Pete. It's John here from the Red Dice Diaries. Just thought I'd drop you a quick message after listening to your recent episode to say thanks for splashing around that discount link for the Affinity publisher. I remember using the old Serif Page Plus and stuff like that with great fondness myself from back in the day. And I tried the sort of beta of Affinity publisher but never picked it up afterwards when it was properly released. But I have now got a copy thanks to the discount link. Only been having a bit of a tinker with it so far, but it looks pretty damn good, I've got to say, and hopefully I might be able to use it for some of my projects going forward. So thanks again, dude. I very much enjoyed the episode. I might be putting out one shortly myself about the Zinequest entries that I've backed so far. And until I speak to you again, take care, and I'll catch you soon, dude.
And that was John Allen Large from the Red Dice Diaries. Yeah. You're not the only person that's picked it up since I mentioned it. I know at least of 2 other people have also picked it up. Yeah, £25. You can't go wrong, really, can you? I mean, it's a steal. I'm very tempted to pick up the Affinity photo. With that, you can edit the photos directly from publisher. And again, that's on half price, so I am tempted. Don't know if I'll have much use of it. Again, it's very similar to Adobe Photoshop. I'm glad that you're going to do an episode on some of your backings. I'll be interested to see that, to see if there's any I've missed. So thanks for that, John. And let's get on to today's zines that I've been looking at. Okay, the first one up is by Tim Schultz of the Gothridge Manor podcast, and this is The Many Crypts of Lady Ingrade. And this is a series of short, deadly adventures, crypts created out of a hatred of tomb raiding adventurers. And Tim has got a few people involved with him here. He's got Rob Connolly, who's also got his own podcast. He's doing all the maps. Joe the lawyer is doing his editing, and again, Joe's another podcaster. And Ivy is the most important on her team because she's giving her food. So that is the Happy Whisk Ivy Schultz. I did back Hunters of Death by Tim last year, and he delivered on time, and he's a good, reliable one. So this is one I have already backed. The price for this is £4 digital and £8 in print. Next up is Be Stitchery for Mortborg by Michael Gutowski. And this is a bestiary, zine / supplement for Mortborg role-playing game, which lets you generate creatures by stitching them together, hence Be Stitchery. Unlike Mortborg, it uses jarring colours. It's like a neon red and a neon blue. And there's 400 fused creatures. And basically what you do is each page is split into 2 creatures and you can mix and match. So this is a nice little one. It's 15 plus pages and A5. And this one is digital only and it's £6. The next one that caught my eye is the 2020 Bestiary by Doug North Cook. And this contains 20 of the worst monsters from 2020. Providing you with all of the information you need to bring these terrible creatures into your tabletop games. And on the webpage there's some nice sample layouts of these creatures, and we've got one here called the Rugu, which was once the beloved Lord Mayor of one of the shining elven cities of stars in the far north. This one is £4 in digital, £9 print and digital. Next up we have Low Life by Sam Sorensen. And this is a toolkit for old school RPGs about delving into tunnels, trenches and mines. It's not a setting guide or an adventure, there's no preset content here, rather it's a tool set for GMs and players, full of rules and content you can slot in at your table when you need them. And the zine has systems and challenges, hazards, a handful of monsters and beasties, items to use in tunnels, tables for generating your own warrens and trench works from scratch. But I like is it's meant for old school elf games. Ooh, yes, it's OSR compatible. And this one is £5 digital and £9 print. Next up is Skullbox by Shardstone. And this is a punk rock inspired 40-page zine that contains an entire rules-like game designed to bring fun and absurd stories to your table. And even if you're not going to back this one, I recommend you check it out because it's got a great heavy metal soundtrack. And it's one of the few zines that I've seen with a video to go with it. But this one really rocks. It shows off a lot of the art for the zine. And as I said, what can go wrong with a bit of heavy metal soundtrack? And it also explains a bit of the system as well. You've got 3 abilities and you roll a number of d6 equal to your ability number, and you need a success on 1 die of 5 or more. So it's a nice simple one, but you need to check it out for the artwork. Some great artwork there as well. And Skullbox is £10 in digital and £15 in print. The next one I've got for you is Talk Rally Raid Role-Playing by Will Jobst. This is a race along the open road of a weird world to stitch together its people and places in this mixed board role-playing game. And this is interesting because it's 2 games in one. The first one is called Road, and it's a rules-light gridded tactical experience. And the second one is Rest Stop, which is the character-focused role-playing game. So you've got 2 games in one here, and it's quite unique in this respect, because you can do your Mad Max and those sorts of things, but you've got your Road Warriors style game on the open road, and then when you get to your destination, you can do your role playing. And what is also I've never seen done before is that when you back this one, you get a Miro board to help you play the game, and a Miro board is an online whiteboard type style thing. So yeah, that's a bit different. So this one's £6 in digital and £12 in print. Next up is Gordonac by Jeremy Childry. This is 44 pages of mech-busting gang warfare set on a dying planet. Sounds fun? Right. Gordonac is a mostly standalone RPG using Tuesday Night Games' Panic engine. So you've got lots of classes, you've got some mechs with some really nice artwork here, and I'll post a couple of the pictures of the artwork on the YouTube feed. So Gordonac is £7 in digital and £14 in print. Next up is the Knights of the Road by Border Cholly. This is a tiny hack of the Into the Odd set in the 1920s. Players assume the mantle of monster hunters who hop the rails of a dystopian early 20th century, taking contracts to kill creeps and monsters, all the while avoiding the wrath of evil barons of industry. And this one is 3 tiny little zines. And each of these zines is about 16 pages, which contain a tiny bestiary and a tiny book for GM advice, and the other one is the rule book with, as it says, cool drawings inside. And this one is £2 in digital and £4 in print. It's not even a cup of tea, that one, is it? Nice. Next up is the Lair of the Manticore by Frank Turfler from the Frank T's Liner Notes podcast. This is one I've already backed because, hey, Frank T's doing it. It's a micro-dungeon adventure for Savage Worlds, 5e, Swords and Wizardry, and Tiny D6. Yeah, he's covering a host of different systems there, which is, I think, is a clever idea. It began as a free black and white map designed as an adventure starting for short one-page adventures, and it's since grown and expanded to 24 pages and continues to grow. This is Frank T's first Kickstarter, so good luck with this one, Frank. And this one is £4 in digital and £8 in print. Now I'll pick this next one because this is a bit of a different one. This is the Power Words engine by Dom Liotto. And basically this is an engine, is a custom magic spell generation tool designed to replace a spell list of your favourite tabletop system. And basically for your spell you choose a set of up to 8 words from the provided lists, which combine to describe your spell's effects. And then you calculate the spell's harmony by comparing its words to a set of rules called harmonics. And it's sort of like it's hard to say really, it's quite unique. You need to look at the page because it's like sort of like a life path system-ish. It's very different, but this one is £4 in digital and £8 print and digital. So to get more of an idea of this book, which is a little bit different, as it's 6 inches square, so it's not landscape, it's not portrait, it's square. This one's got 50 pages, 300 plus words of power to generate your spells from, 15 harmonics, 5 harmony trees, 50 plus tags. There seems to be an awful lot in this one. And the final one for today is Major Arcana by Alex Wilcox. And this is a zine of 22 one-page rule sets. Yes, that's right, this is 22 different one-page rules. And this is for warm, whimsical and weird games and experiences. Each page is a new rule set inspired by a card from the Major Arcana of a tarot deck. Each rule set is unique and performed in a wide array of different ways, some alone and others in groups, one with a Jenga tower, another with a jug of water, and the last with a fistful of dirt. So yeah, this is really wacky, and he's got 3 tiers for this one. We've got £3 gives you the digital text only, for £5 you get a digital PDF, and for £7 you get the print version. So that's my choice of interesting zines. If you have any others that I've missed out or you think maybe worth a mention, then give us a bell. And that leads me straight into how to contact me if you need to. So the website is petejones@newcities.org. The blog is dragonsarealpodcast.tumblr.com. You can leave me a voicemail, as John did earlier, on the Anchor app for voicemail. You can email me by dragonsarealpodcast@pm.me, or you can contact me via the YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, by Mind Control, Thought Process, any of those things. Get in touch. Details are in the show notes. That's all for this episode. Thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.